Thank you for joining us here once again at this fabulous Zhanyang Cultural and Sports Center Natatorium here in Chengdu. And today we have our one and only final. It's the women's 1-meter springboard final. So we have Yi Wang and Jia Shen of Chengdu, a local girl in the 7th and 8th positions. Top ranking, of course, then Sophia Vezil of the United States, Halim Kwan of Korea Republic, Natalie Fan of Australia, Hannah Kondo, Nina Janmir and Jacqueline Fowler of the United States. Jacqueline Fowler, 2.3 this, and it's a back 1.5 pike position. Peter Richardson watches on. Yeah, you can just see that's the gesture that basically means that point of entry. Just look at the legs, flicked over the top, rather than gliding in. You've got to just hold them as hard as you can, and it means great strength just to prevent it. Legs from going over 41.44. Jacqueline Fowler. Now, Nina Janmir. It's a reversed 1.5, and the pike is a 2.4 DD. And that's better. Again, the entry not ideal. She got good height on that dive. You can just see that she's really working hard to get herself into that position. But again, coming out of that rotation, just doesn't look as steady going into the water. So 43.2, yeah, I was going to say 40. And she knows that there's more work to be done and get herself a place on the podium. It's a forward 1.5 with a twist. 2.2 DD for Hannah Kondo. It's a good dive, and again, Kondo, who was third after the first round, gets the twist in. The twist looks very nice indeed. And the entry, just saving it really quite abruptly. So 45.1. Natalie Fan, she was 6th with 46.8 after her first dive. Forward 2.5 in the pike position. Big DD this one. Nice. She knows that the entry, she needed to just hold, and the legs go over the top. It's kind of it's like a swiping move, isn't it, going into the water. It's such a difficult challenge to try and hold yourself and get your point of entry and also keep yourself in that vertical position. Very difficult indeed. Takes lots of practice. Halim Kwan, it's a 2.6 DD. Forward 2.5 pike. Needs height. That's nice, and that will go down really well with the judges. The point of entry, and again, she's really going, she's so quick with her dive, and the rotation is completed. She comes out of that, reaches really well. But the judges will spot the fact that the legs are just going over. Sophia Vezil, back 1.5. Rotations, pike position. It's a 2.3 DD. It's an elegant dive. Peter Richardson just talking with Jacqueline Fowler. And again, it's the holding the legs and the vertical entry, and then you can see the back splash that comes back out. And 47.15 for Sophia. She's from Colombia, and here we go. Yi Wang, 57.6. And second after the first round, forward 2.5 in a pike position. It's a big 2.6 DD. For the entry, I'm being hard now. the entry not perfect, but in terms of execution, that'll be still give her a good score. Squeezing and holding really well, but you can see that splash there will see her drop points, despite the fact that the degree of difficulty is 2.6, so she's missing out on a few crucial points. And Jia Shen of the People's Republic of China will now try and push ahead. It's a 2.60, it is a forward 2.5 pike position. Well, that's great. It really is, because one, she completed the dive, she completed every rotation in the perfect way and still had time to just come out of the final rotation, get herself into that position. And point of entry just a little bit off. As you can see, the legs coming back over the top, so that will see her drop a few points, but it's not really going to affect too much in terms of who's in the top two positions, because as we can see, yeah, 62.4, and it could have been more, but still she retains her top position. Out of the 8 divers, Chen with nearly a 8-point lead over her compatriot Halim Kwan in third. Back to Jacqueline Fowler. Needs to get a good dive in now. Reverse 1.5, pike position 2.4. See if we get a shout and a applause from Team USA. Point of entry, not the best. You can see that the legs again working really hard to get herself into that position. She'll have recognized that. And a happy, smiley Jacqueline Fowler, the 22-year-old from Laguna Niguel in California. Nina Janmir, Sweden. Forward 1.5 with 2 twists. It's a 2.6 DD. It's time for her to produce a backlash. She was battling, she was fighting vigorously to find her entry. You can just see it's a big dive. There's a lot in this dive from 1 meter. Of course, you've got to get a lot of height. Very strong diver, of course, on 48.1 points, because she didn't have time to come out of that final rotation. Anaconda, reverse 1.5 somersaults, pike position 2.4. Well, it'll be a satisfactory 50 points. Could have been more. There you go, good hand position, body position. Oh, I got that wrong, 37.2. So the legs coming over the top, and of course, with the point of entry not good enough. So the judges pick up things that I didn't spot on that occasion. Natalie Fan of Australia, back 1.5 pike position, ranked 5 so far, just off the podium. And legs just coming over the top. That's not bad. She knows that he needed to just stall the movement just as she was coming out of the final, out of the rotation. Halim Kwan, it's a back 1.5 pike position, 2.3. Facing the springboard. Third after last round. Just look, the angle of her legs going into the water. So she comes out, she's reaching over the top. And the legs are kind of at 45-degree angle. Sophia Vezil, fourth, coming into this dive here. It's a reverse 2.5 tucks, DD of 3, highest so far, very technical. Well, again, the point of entry, not spot on, but in terms of strength, height, and technicality of the dive, works really hard. But coming out of that final position, you can see that she doesn't manage to make her entry the best one that she would have liked. We now move to the final two divers in round two. Yi Wang, it's a back 1.5 rotation pike, 2.3. So the back position obviously increases the degree of difficulty. And that'll be satisfactory, but again, point of entry, when you see the legs, they were at an angle. It's such a beautiful dive when it's executed perfectly. Still goes down well with the local fans. 51.75. And we will complete the second round with Jia Chen of Chengdu University. Here with a back 1.5 pike position, 2.3. She's currently with 124.8 points. She is in first place so far. Oh, it's just so slick, isn't it? Very classy diver. All of it, all of the movement, it's just it's beautiful to watch. Now the DD was 2.3. Maybe the entry could have been a little bit better. She tries to hide the fact that she's going over. Just with the ankles, just with the knees, just going over marginally, but still. 57.5 to 182.3. And logically, Jia Chen is top of the table ahead of Wang. And Sophia Vasil up into third position, Natalie Fan in fourth. Jacqueline Fowler currently seventh, 128. She'd love to get herself a really good dive and get some good points here. It's 2.6, so the DD is up. It's a forward 2.5 pike. That's better, that's better. And I think that you can see that sort of the angle that she went in, I don't like to say angle, but because you want to be vertical, but she's just going in, she's not going over the top, she's just about hitting close to being the right spot, but well, unable to just hold it marginally. So she might just under the 50-point mark, 48.1. Anina Yanmir, forward 2.5 pike position, 2.6. It's a big dive. She's gone constantly through technical dives here, the Swede. Now it's time for her to push herself up the ranking, currently 8th. Well, that's better. She's improving. The entry wasn't great. Again, I like the way that she dives. She just needs a little bit more height, a little bit more power just on takeoff. Just give her that extra little bit of time just to make her maneuver. You can see that she's like, you know, suffering with the entry at the moment, but these are small little adjustments that need to be made. Anna Kondo, back 1.5 pike, 2.3 DD. She's currently in the 6th position. It's going to be between 45 and 50. Look at the angle, point of entry, not going in. There's a lot of splash. And the angle, so yeah, she'll be below 40 with that. And having seen the replay, Natalie Fan just off the podium. Reverse 1.5 pike position, 2.4. A chance to move into the top 3. Fighting hard to get herself the right entry. You can see that the legs are coming right over the top there, but still 45.6. Lim Kwan, it's a reverse 1.5 pike, 2.4. Making small improvements here for each dive, but the entry, you can see that the legs just whipped over the top there. And plenty of splash that follows, 45.6 and 187.25. Sophia Verzil, part of the US diving championship qualifying. It's a 2.4 dive, this one. Inward 1.5 in the pike. That's a nice dive. Yeah, you can see the head has got to be right in the... It shouldn't be... Really don't put your head on your chin. It's got to be really reach back out so that you are, obviously the head being a very heavy part of the body. Body will follow that direction, of course. And Yi Wang will be next up with a reverse 1.5 pike, 2.4. She's currently second. Legs coming over the top a little bit. Won't be a big score. It's so elegant when you watch her dive. I mean, I do like her. She's just full of energy, full of power, but it doesn't look like she is, but she works really hard. And entry not ideal. She's reaching. And she just hits it at an angle, doesn't she? And then there's quite a splash, 54 points. And holding on to that top position still, just because of how constant they are. Now, Jia Shen, now a runaway leader. How can she, well, anything more than 40 points, and she's back in the top spot. Reverse 2.5 in a tuck, 3 in the DD. Yeah, that's great. That's a great dive. You know, minimalizes the splash on entry, but it's the execution. She gets lots of height there. Tuck position, squeezing really hard, comes out of the final rotation. Reaches really well, and logically she'll get 60, 65 plus, I think, for that. It's a really elegant dive, isn't it? Bit of splash though. 69, that's a great score, isn't it? And yeah, but it could have been more. So they don't smile too much because obviously, you know, the job's not done just yet, work in progress. But look at that, she's got a 251.3, more than 30 points ahead of Wang. And Sophia Verzil, and back down there in third position ahead of Natalie Fan. This is a big DD, this one, 2.6. It's a reverse 1.5. Got 1.5 twists in free position. Big score here needed. Well, that's not bad at all, and you know, because of the DD's quite high, just, again fighting to come out of that final rotation, just to get herself into the vertical position. The legs don't come around. Well, they do come around, but they come around and go a little bit over the top there, as you can see. So the angle of entry, not perfect, but 44.2, 233.75. Currently in second position. And she's just hoping that she can hold on to that, because we know the other Chinese divers are going to do their business. Halim Kwan, the Republic of Korea. Worked really hard to try and produce a good dive there. Coaching staff really behind her. There's the 24-year-old from Kyunghee Cyber University, 42.9, currently in third position. Now, Sofia Verzyl, she was third coming into this. This is a 2.6 DD. Very important dive, this one. Forward 1.5 with 2 twists in the free position. It's for a place on the podium. Oh, that's not bad at all. Fought valiantly to get the right entry. It's a difficult dive because of the twists. Works hard to get a body around. Is it enough? It might be. And I think it is for a place on the podium. 50 points plus, I think, will take her into the top position. Yeah, 53.3. She does get the top position. Now, she's all smiles. And there's a reason why, is because the 2 Chinese divers are behind her, and she's currently in the lead just by a couple of points over Jia Chen. But let's take a look at what Yi Wang can produce here with the People's Republic of China. Reverse 1.5 with 1.5 twists in the free. Oh, that's beautiful. And that really is beautiful. That's a great dive. Let's see how this score is. What she's going to get from this. She knows how important it is. It's to get herself the top place on the podium. It's going to be very complicated to move ahead of Jia Chen, who's 30 points ahead. And I can't see her overthrowing her teammate. 58.3. So she has, well, basically taken the second spot. Jia Chen only needs to get more than 29.05 points to get a gold medal. Finishes off with a reverse 1.5 twists. Oh, and she does it majestically. That is the gold medal winning dive to secure the deal, secure the 3rd gold medal for the People's Republic of China in 3 events. Running the show, and it's not just a win for the People's Republic of China, but it's a win also for Chengdu, because she is studying at the Chengdu University here, the home of this FISU World Summer University Games. Congratulations to Jia Chen, the runaway leader. 318.9.67.6. It was always going to happen. That's a great victory. Yi Wang of China makes it a Chinese 1-2. And the United States of America with Sofia Verzyl completing the podium. That's a good medal. That is for Sofia Verzyl. She'll be very happy with that, the 20-year-old from the University of Southern Carolina. Congratulations to all 3 medalists. And once again, China dominating the proceedings with another gold and another silver, of course, here in the diving pool.